Have you ever felt like Goldilocks trying to find a bike that's just right? Too tall and you're on your tiptoes at every stop. Too short and you're not getting the full dirt bike experience. Well, what if I told you that getting the perfect fit on your dirt bike could be as easy as turning a bolt? Today we're diving into a game-changing feature on the Kamax KMX 250MT that is about to make too tall a problem for the past. For vertically challenged riders, it can be a real challenge to ride a dirt bike sometimes. And it's not just a comfort issue, it is about safety and also confidence. When you have to stretch out to reach the ground with your feet, you're not in control, and that can be disastrous if you're not lucky. So the seat height brings you to the ground, it's not the other way around. But stick with me, and I'm going to show you how Kamax has a solution for this one too. It's not only for the shorter riders, this feature is a very good function. Sometimes when you're riding in a very technical terrain, so you really need to set your feet down more often. And then it could be a really nice feeling to do it easier. The solution to this problem is that on the lower mount of the rear shock, there are two mounts. So you can easily lower the shock, and the result should be that the seat height will be 55 millimeters lower. So we are going to try it out now. The seat height of this Kamax is 885 millimeters. I believe that is a little bit lower than a lot of the more well-known brands. I am 183 centimeters tall, so let's see what it looks like for me. Of course, I'm not wearing my gear now, so the suspension maybe not go down as much as it should. I can easily get down with my heels as it is now, so I don't have a big problem. But even when I'm riding in really technical terrain with a lot of stones and stuff, it can be challenging to get my feet down to the ground. So now I brought out a crash test dummy, my wife, and she's just 156 centimeters tall, so she's got a real challenge to reach the ground here. I had to put two concrete blocks on each side, and now she actually can stand here. So we're going to see what it looks like when we lower the bike. So here we have the shock and the linkage, and this is the standard mount. And if we can see, there is one more hole a little bit above that. So it's just to take out this bolt and lower the shock and put it back. So let's try it out. Okay, here it comes. Okay, good. Okay, 2 seconds done. Okay, there we are. I will not tighten it more since we're just gonna try. It's good to have an extra mechanic helping. Okay, we are back with a crash test dummy, and as you can see, I have removed one of the stones, and the stones, they are 65 millimeters high. So let's see, can you reach now?
Yes.
So it is actually a little bit lower the bike. Okay, great. Then we can see what it looks like for me too. Okay, for me now it's a really big difference. As you can see, my knees are bent, so it's really feels really safe and good to have my feet really well on the ground. So this was a very easy fix to lower this bike. So let's check the seat height before we lower the bike. Okay, Don, you measure from the ground up to the red one. How much?
93.
930 millimeters. So it's actually, what is that? That is 45 millimeters taller than the manufacturer states in their documentation. That was interesting. Okay, let's check the seat height now when it's lowered. Okay, Don, you measure from the floor up to the lower end.
89.
890 millimeters. So now we know that lowering the seat height on this one, it will lower it, for me it did at least, with 40 millimeter, not the 55 as they state, but that might have something to do with suspension settings. I have a pretty stiff because I am on the upper range of the weight for this spring, so it could be that. It's also something to think about that the ground clearance will be lower, and I checked that and that was actually 50 millimeters lower. So that is also something to weigh in the equation if you want to lower the bike. And you should probably also adjust your forks a little bit if you lower it. But it's a very neat feature. I will actually try it one day to just feel what it feels like to ride with a lower seat height. With that said, if you found this information useful, please give the video a like and consider subscribing. And until next time, be safe.